And let me tell you the fear that engulfed me when I realized that I actually that was the worst experience of my life. Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Michelle is my name. If it's your first time here, hi, welcome. Today I'm filming a highly requested video, which is my experience as a flight attendant, and I guess I'll touch on just a bit about how I got the job, and you know, basically this is a story time. Okay, I'm telling you about the things that I've gone through, the things that I can remember, and the pros and cons of the job as a flight attendant. Okay, so I'll just delve straight into it. So one is lack of sleep. As a flight attendant, you're really tired 95% of the time. You're sleepy. You're either sleepy because you didn't get any sleep because you were working, or because of the time difference, jet lag and all those things. So half the time you're sleepy, right? I want to tell you a story about the time that I was fairly new. So I've been flying for about 11-12 years now, okay? And I was fairly new as a cabin crew, about maybe 3 months, maybe even 2 months, I don't remember. And it was a flight to Cairo. Or rather, I was scheduled to go on a flight to Cairo. And because the roster was something new to me and I didn't know how to read it, and it was basically, you know, in GMT or UTC as they sometimes say, I checked the timing and I thought that I was supposed to be there at 5, but turns out I was supposed to report to work and check in at 2. So long story short, I was sleeping, trying to get a rest, and crew shuttling are calling me and they're asking, hi Michelle, hi, so where are you? And I'm like, why? I'm in bed. And this lady is like, you're in bed, we're about to board and the purser is looking for you. And I was like, what? You have never seen me panic the way I panicked that day. I didn't know whether to take a shower, to call a cab. Should I still come to work? Should I just stay? What do I do? And the lady on the other side, because I think she had experienced this with so many new crew, started laughing, and she was like, okay, calm down, we'll give you an hour so you can be here in an hour. You have to make it, or otherwise we'll have to pull you out of the flight. This was my first time to Egypt, okay? This was Cairo, and I was excited, and it was 2 months flying, and I was like, I really want to go. Yo, I don't even remember if I took a shower. Sadly, I just know I got into the uniform, half makeup done, got into a cab, and that was really stressful. The other stories after that, at least, are not because I misread or because I was sleepy, but it's just those times when you go to work and you're super tired because you couldn't sleep, or because of, you know, again, time difference, and so your eyes are basically red 90% of the time, especially for someone like me whose eyes are always like red and watery. Yeah, that happens to me a lot. So when you fly with me and when you see me, don't judge, okay? Okay, I'll tell you another example where I had sleep deprivation. Was on a flight to LA. So this was a 16-hour flight, right? And on the flight we usually have breaks. So you can either go on first break or second or third, depending on the aircraft that we're flying on, all those things, right? So I was on first break. First break means as soon as the service, so after takeoff we have service. So as soon as the service is done, which is about 2 hours maybe into the flight, you go on your break. Okay, so maybe you're from home, because LA is a morning flight. So I was obviously from home. I had slept the previous night, didn't get much sleep, but I had slept. So now you've come onto the flight and it's time for you to go on break, but you're not sleepy, okay? But you still have to go on break. So this is me going on break and staying awake the whole time when I was on break because I couldn't sleep. Waking up, weathering through the flight, 16-hour flight, and then now getting to the hotel. When I got to the hotel, I was so tired, I could not even sleep. Like that's how tired I was. Like, you haven't slept, you're tired because you haven't slept. But then now, it's too much that you can't even sleep. And I literally felt like I wanted to throw up because of how tired I was. And I just sat in bed. And of course, we got to LA around, we got to the hotel around maybe 3 o'clock. So the sun is out, you know, and it's bright outside and you're trying to sleep. You've drawn in your blinds and everything and you're like, you know what, I'm going to sleep, but you just don't sleep. So I decided, you know what, let me go look for food. I went outside to McDonald's, I bought food, I came back. Needless to say, let me just cut the long story short, I slept at 4 a.m. the next morning, American time, which was probably the next day in Dubai, maybe like 30 hours later. I don't even know, many hours later. It was crazy. I was really tired. So yeah. And then after that happens, of course, you have to stay awake during the day so you can sleep at night like a normal human being. Like, listen, we're ninjas. We are not human beings. I'm telling you, we're extraterrestrial. I don't even know how we hack this. Anyway, next point. Being away from your family. So you're always traveling, that means you're always away. And if you're from a different country and you move to, like, say, like move to Dubai or move to whichever country that you're operating from as a base, that means you're away from your country and you're not able to see your family, your friends, nothing. What this does to you is you miss weddings, you miss birthdays, you miss holidays, Christmas, like all these things, and events. And eventually, I feel like your friends get tired of inviting you to stuff and they just stop. And so you're never invited for anything, even when you're around. Like, no one really remembers you because you've always kind of not made it to stuff. So people are just like, you're an afterthought basically. Like, it's just like, ah, okay, she never shows up anyway. She's not around anyway, so no one really, you miss milestones and you end up kind of being a loner. Or your friends are just other cabin crew, other flight attendants, you know, or other people who are in aviation flying and who understand your life. Anyway, the third point that I wanted to bring out is you are likely to die. You're likely to die. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. Air travel is one of the safest, not one of the safest, I think it's been ranked the safest mode of travel or mode of transport. So flying, as you fly, you're likely safer than someone who's obviously driving a car or in a train or in a boat. I think ship, I can say that. So yeah, you're safer on air. But I just wanted to tell you guys about this story when, okay, so let me just tell you how it happened. So the person I was working business class, okay? So the person I seated on the jump seat after the service, okay? Customers are sleeping, it's a night flight. Customers in business class are sleeping, the lights are off. Economy class customers are sleeping, the lights are off. So I had this bottle of water and it was on like a table on the side. And so we were just chatting and I just saw this bottle of water kind of, should I say pop open? No, I don't think it really popped open, but I feel like it was overflowing. Let me say overflowing. It's closed. Remember, the bottle is closed. So water is coming out, and I just remember turning and looking at it and thinking, what? Why? You know? And so we're still talking. I'm seeing this, but I'm not saying anything to her. So I was like, anyway, so we're talking, and then I was like, wait, don't they usually tell us if there's a decompression that the water will start, you know, like drinks will start overflowing from the bottles, fizzy drinks will pop open? And I was just there thinking, is that what is happening? This is all going on in my brain. I'm not saying anything. So I was like, you know what, let me just check what's going on in the cabin. So I just did this because there was a curtain, and I was like trying to peek and just to see. And all the masks in the cabin, the oxygen masks, were dropped. Everything was down. And I was like, wait, what? I didn't know what to do. So I told the person, I said, masks have dropped. And I think the slow reaction, because we're thinking, wait, where we are, had the masks dropped, ours should have dropped as well. So first of all, why aren't our masks dropped? Okay, that's one. Second, why didn't we feel anything? Third, there was no, usually there's like a pre-recorded announcement when something happens, or like the flight deck should say something to us. Anyway, all these thoughts are running through our minds, and we're just like not moving. Finally, I get up and I'm tapping customers in business class, telling them, you know, like, wake up, don your masks. And I'm just thinking, wait, first of all, you are not even on a mask. Why are you even talking? You should be seated, fastened with your mask. You're not even supposed to be waking anyone up. You should shout, yes, but your safety is first. So I was wondering, what am I even doing? And as soon as it clicked, I ran back to my seat. And then I was like, oh, wait, there's no mask here. So I went back to the cabin, to the passenger seat, and sat down and donned a mask. And then we were like, okay. We sat there for a few seconds, which looked like 10 minutes. And then I went into remember, the purser is still somewhere. I don't even know where she was. I don't know if she was still on her seat. I really don't remember seeing her after that. But I just remember getting up and going to the flight deck, calling the flight deck, trying to enter, and no one was opening. But I could hear their QDMs, because they have their oxygen system, which is called QDMs, and I could hear it loudly through the door. But I didn't know it was a QDM, because I don't think I had actually experienced that before, like the QDM running. It was quite loud. So I was like, what is that sound? So I thought it was a hissing sound for decompression. So I was like, so is there decompression in the flight deck? And that's why this is happening, or what is going on? Anyway, captain didn't open. We sat down for a while, and then finally he called us and said, no, actually he didn't call us. He made a PA announcement, a public announcement, and he said, you know, we've had to drop down the altitude, because a few feet, because we had a false detection of a decompression, which wasn't really a decompression. And so the system dropped down the masks and everything, but there was nothing really wrong. So we're trying to go through our checklist to check to see what was going on. Anyway, Mimi, I thought I was dead. Like I was just like, you know what, maybe I died, maybe my brain, I was just thinking this, I didn't have oxygen, so this is not normal. Anyway, we dropped down to, I think, I'm not really sure the altitude we dropped down to. I think it was 30,000 or 25,000. And then we landed. Okay, so here's where the story became a bit annoying for me. So we landed in the airport. We were flying to Yaoundé. We continued flying, landed to Yaoundé, and we were supposed to fly all the way to Douala, Cameroon. So we're not initially supposed to fly to land at Yaoundé airport, but we ended up landing there. So Yaoundé airport is not an airport that is used to taking our customers, because we didn't have that many customers going to that airport, so we didn't really have like an airline office. So we get to Yaoundé and the captain says, okay, so this happened, guys, I'm sorry I couldn't get back to you, but now they need to check the aircraft so that we can go back, but because it's nighttime we'll have to go to the hotel. We landed in Yaoundé around, it was almost dawn, it was around maybe 5 a.m. So we have to go to the hotel and rest, because we need a rest, and then come back, take the aircraft to Douala, finish Douala, and then, you know, go back to base. Okay, so this is us now going to the airport. First of all, let me just tell you guys, when I joined the airline, the one that I was working for at that time, we had been told that you should always have extra clothes in your bag, because sometimes you never know, anything could happen and you end up needing an extra set of clothes. Okay, so just carry a t-shirt and like jeans or whatever in your bag. So I always used to carry, literally I always used to carry until around that time when I decided, you know what, I carry these things around and I never really use them, so I removed them. Okay. Biggest mistake of my life. We got into Yaoundé airport and I think we went to like a Swiss airline. Is it called Swiss Airline or Swiss Airways? I don't know. But the Swiss airline, we went to their office. So we're just seated there. And I remember seeing this ground staff and I asked him, do you guys have, would you guys have like a t-shirt or something? Maybe you could help me with, because I had a toothbrush and toothpaste. I don't remember if I had Dio or not. I probably had Dio, but I didn't have any other clothes. Like at a leso, I had nothing, right? Leso is like a kanga that we use in Kenya. So what did I just say? I said kanga. It's like a drape that we use, like a scarf, but a big one. That's a leso. So I had this. I didn't even have this, sorry, in my bag. So this guy gave us, I think it's the passenger overnight kit, and it had a t-shirt, toothpaste, toothbrush, and that was all. So okay, fine, it's fine, we'll get to the hotel, there's probably a robe, we'll figure it out. Okay, so we got to the hotel. First of all, before we got to the hotel, we went to a Hilton that was there, and it was full because all our customers had to be taken to that hotel. So when we got there, this guy said, you know what, we actually don't have any other rooms available, so you guys have to go to another hotel. The other hotel was about an hour out. Imagine driving all that way out. There's no traffic, it's 5 in the morning and it still takes an hour to go all the way to that other hotel. And it's like hills, and just the scenery was beautiful, but in my mind I'm just thinking this better be a really good hotel, because I really get grossed out. I have OCD when it comes to like just hotel like sheets and bathrooms and, you know, toilet seats. I don't even want to think about this. It was not a good experience. Anyway, so we get to this hotel. It's a 3-star hotel because apparently there was not that many nice hotels in Yaoundé, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me, but that's what I remember. It was years ago. More than 10 years ago, actually, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so we get into the hotel, and so you just have your t-shirt. So you wear your t-shirt and you get into, because now see, we want to sleep, we're tired. I had trousers. The uniform that I was wearing was trousers. So I decided, you know what, I won't take off my trousers because the sheets don't look that, you know, with my OCD, that clean. But I skipped